Heath Ryan, wonderful to see you.
Thanks, Ricky.
Heath, good luck this afternoon.
I
You're
need
the
it.
final competitor in
great
the
draw.
CIW. Best of luck.
Thank you.
Now, I want to ask you about Rosie.
Yep.
Rosie's on her way to London Olympics. We've all got our fingers crossed for her. She safely arrived in Europe at the Bartle stable, having qualified here with her Olympic qualifying scores. What's she doing from here on? What are our Australian riders going to be doing from between now and London? I know we've got Brett Parbery. He's here today, but he's also over there with a horse. What's happening?
Well, Rosie's in quarantine right now, or really her horse is. I've got her at home right this moment working. I mean, someone's got to hold the fort. Yeah. Very important. She's going to fly down tomorrow, providing I make the cut for the freestyle. The horse is in quarantine and he's scheduled to go out on Easter Sunday. Now, they've decided that they're not going to fly out Easter Sunday, so now it looks like the following Sunday. So Rosie is in high stress and life is quite difficult at home, just me surviving really, but
Heath, I feel very sorry for you, of course.
I know you would.
However, for Rosie, this is leaving it a little late. I thought she was already on her way. So Alabaster and Rachel Sanna, they're already over there. Chantal Wigan and Ferrero. Rosie, this is a shame the flight's been delayed.
Yeah, no, it is. You look back and you think, gee, we should have organised this earlier. And hindsight's a great thing. But at this stage, if she goes out, in the next couple of weeks, we still anticipate all being well. And, there are 2 trials to go there in May. I think it's the early May. It's Mannheim is the first one. And then the last trial is Compagnon in France, and I think all the Australian contenders that are going to make the final team, I think only a team of 3 sadly, but they have to go head to head in those 2 trials. Now, it's pretty interesting. It's hotting up over there, and I think Christie's put a hand up as well at the last minute. So
not soon enough though. Yes, Christy Oatley Nist competing in Braunschweig. Raymond, I think. No, Braunschweig wasn't it? But we have Lyndall Oatley, partner of Patrick Kittle. We have Rachel Sanna with Alabaster. We have Hayley Beresford, recently coming into contention with Bellissimo M. We have Rosie. Yes, we have Chantal.
No, we've got a good
and we
group.
We have Brett Parbery here. So shall we ask Brett to join us?
No, it's hi Brett.
Hi Brett.
Hello, Ricky.
Lovely to see you.
Good to see you.
Great. So Brett, you're here, and we hear that Rosie's coming down tomorrow. Only if Heath qualifies for the freestyle.
Right. Yep.
Yeah, she's coming
otherwise
down
she
to
just
help
doesn't
him.
go and keep at home working.
Well, I mean, Heath is my mentor when it comes to
he's got
relationships.
Mel at home working. Good one, Brett.
I look up to Heath when it comes to relationships. I've seen him working for years. So,
Brett, tell us about your horse, your London Hopeful. Where did you acquire him? Tell us about your owner. How's things going?
So we found him in 2010, in March 2010. He is owned by Clyde Wonderwald, and Clyde come to the decision that he needed to buy a stallion. He needed a horse which was then going to be able to be sold after the Olympic Games, that's been the motivation the whole way along. Obviously owning stallions for Heath, right, because Clyde was one of Heath's great owners, conflicted with Regatta Mire and Jive Magic as a commercial prospect. So that was all very clear and understood. And I was looking for a next horse after Victory Salute. So we found a stallion. We found one that was old enough to have a chance at London. We found that was young enough to be saleable after London. It had to be quality enough to get to London. So we're really happy with Lord of Loxley and what we found there. We found him in a stable in Germany. He was just doing stallion shows. He'd competed a little bit, but not much. And when it came to the Grand Prix work, he was very green in all of it. And I must say, after 2 years of training, he still is very green in all of it, but he's my only chance, and we're giving him everything we can give. And luckily I have Edward Gall on site, and he's giving his all to it as well. So,
Brett, it sounds absolutely fantastic, and of course we're all wishing you the best of luck. Now I'm going to have to say bye to Heath Ryan because he's got a horse to prepare for the Grand Prix. So good luck, Heath.
Good luck. Thank you. Thank you.
For you.
Yeah. See you later.
Yeah.
So Brett, thank you for telling us about the background of the horse. Of course, we've not seen him in Australia, so it's wonderful to hear this.
Yeah.
You braved the cold in Poland, having done it myself in minus 20, minus 30 degrees. It's hard to describe, I guess. You survived it. You've also been to France, and you've got your qualifying scores.
Yeah.
What's the horse's strengths for those of us here who haven't seen him yet?
Well, he's a wonderful moving horse. So the first half of the test, Ricky, as you know, as an experienced rider and judge yourself, the first half of the test sets the tone of the presentation of the horse. So he has a great extended trot, a great half pass each way, and that I can get through there for 7s and 8s. You know, with not a. His weakness is the collected work, being so young and green. The passage links so many movements together in the Grand Prix, doesn't it? And you have to have a strong passage. Well, the passage is probably our weakest link. The piaffe is good. If I have the chance to come from walk to piaffe, I can do a great piaffe. But to come from a weak passage into my piaffe is still something I'm working on every day, and that can let me down in the competition arena. The walk is good. The canter work is very good. The canter work, as you know, is very personal, especially when it comes to the changes. So in Villeurbanne in France, I just had some mistakes in the changes, just purely from miscommunication between myself and the horse. The pirouettes are good. So, I mean, we're getting 66 with a lot of mistakes. I really would love to get through a test with no mistakes just to see. The judges want to give him points. He's a beautiful looking horse. And I just have to give them reasons to give me points, really, and not make mistakes. And that's been the hardest part of the whole thing.
Well, Brett, really good luck with it. Working with Edward Gale. Edward and Hans Peter, of course, have been really fortunate in obtaining a new sponsor in the last month, the Glock family in Austria, and very exciting for them. We're hearing that they're going to be spending more time in Austria. There's been new horses purchased. It's great to see that happening for them. What's it like to be around when that's all taking place?
Oh, it's fantastic. I mean, Glock brings a whole new level of sponsorship to dressage. It's to have a 10-year sponsored deal with all of the added benefits of horses and venue and trucks and all these things that Glock are bringing. It takes it to a whole new level for our sport, and let's hope there's more of it to come. The guys, the one quality that those guys, that Edward and Hans Peter have, is they're so human in every facet of their life. Even when Toadless was this big world sensation, Edward never lost his own self. He was always the same guy every day, working, which I just find so refreshing and nice to know that the best riders in the world are just hard workers who have talent, and people like Glock see that and they come to the party with support. So being around them, nothing's changed so much, except that they do have a checkbook now which can acquire them the world's best horses. Finding those horses is the hardest part, and that's now the search is starting for them. They've made a few acquisitions in Tango and Undercover to just get the Glock name out there and get it going forward, but they have got a big plan going forward, and I think they're feeling it out as they go. I don't think they're just going to rush out and buy a lot of horses. I think they're going to feel out what horses suit them, and to go and buy ready-made horses. So let's say Vallegro, for example. Now that horse is 10 years old. He would be for sale after the Olympic Games, as they all do, because money is needed by people like Carl and the likes.
Vallegro, of course, being owned by Carl Hester and ridden for Great Britain, and one of the favourites for the gold medal. Charlotte Dujardin being the rider,
and possibly the best horse in the world at the moment, talent-wise. For the boys to go and purchase that horse, you have to be so sure it's going to work, because the dressage public really are educated enough to I'll use Totalist as an example. They're educated enough to love it when it's at the top, but if it doesn't go to the top, they you know what I mean. There's a little low tolerance for things that aren't working, and unfortunately for Matthias, he's trying to feel out Totalist.
This is Matthias Rath, the rider of Anne-Katrin Linsenhoff and Paul Schockemüller's fabulous Totalist.
Yeah, and they're feeling out some problems, and unfortunately, it's under the public microscope around the world, and it's a real shame for them because they're also top riders and horse people, but every move they make is under the microscope, and so the scenery of the world of dressage, this top level dressage, is so scrutinised via the internet that when Edward and Hans-Peter and those guys make acquisitions for Glock, it has to be right. So that's why they're taking their time and making sure the horses suit their system, suit their riding. And
Brett, all the same, I think if you had that checkbook at your disposal, I think you'd manage it, don't you?
Oh yeah, I can easily manage. Exactly.
Tell me, young horses in their stable over there, how are things looking there?
Good. Well, Edward, in his stable, he has Jack Sparrow, which is the new sensation for him.
And recently licensed, of course, in Dane Bosch at the KWPN licensing.
Yeah.
Not originally, but of course on his performance.
Yeah,
really
that's
outstanding horse.
Yeah, he was German bred, so then he had to earn his way into the KWPN. There's so many horses there. I mean, Hans-Peter has this endless supply of top quality young horses coming through. Vivaldi, Johnson, Donna Silva will be his one that he'll probably make the biggest.
Tell us about Donna Silva.
So Donna Silva is owned by Silvia Rizzo, the Italian girl, and I'm not quite sure of the story prior to Hans-Peter, but Silvia has said to Hans-Peter, this could be your horse for the games. Hans-Peter is treating it that way. I'm not sure exactly which show he's planning to come out first, but it's a very nice grey mare, suits Hans-Peter's style. He's doing a great job, as he always does. So that will be interesting to see what happens there. And as far as the young horses, Edward has Asta de Joux. They have a mare there called Umbria by 007, who is in Australia now. Umbria is just a fantastic moving mare. So there's exciting horses.
And Blue Horse stud, Edward has been riding.
For Romanov. Yeah, that's true. I forgot about
the
him.
Reuben Royal stallion, doing quite well in Herning, I believe.
Yeah. I think he had a good Inter 2 and a good Grand Prix. So yeah, they've definitely got the horsepower.
Okay, Brett, your tips, the Australian team. Now, we'll start, as I'm talking with you, we'll put you in the team.
Oh.
Who's going to be riding with you?
Oh, look, Rachel Senna is just such a performer, and she's been the unstoppable force of 2011. There are so many of us fighting it around the same level. When I say fighting, we all love each other. The scores are fighting. There's so many of us at that same level. It will really come down to Mannheim and the first competition, and just who can go down the centre line, take the pressure and perform under pressure. Hayley Beresford with Bellissimo, she's doing some really good stuff, and she is just chipping away there with Herman Gostemeyer as her coach. He's perfect for her. They work so well as a team, and she's strong. I mean, she's strong. She's a proven performer. She has a good horse, albeit again green at the level, but she will be strong. Rachel will be strong. Mary Hannah with Sunset. In Vitterbarn the other day, she looked fantastic. Linda Oatley, Australian representative in 2010, again can perform under pressure with the husband Patrick Kittle as coach, who's one of the top riders in the world. So, and then you've got Rosie Ryan. I mean, Rosie Ryan, she is just, if there's anyone that can go there and upset the apple cart, it's Rosie Ryan. I mean, she will put her best foot forward. So, I tell you what, I'm not counting anything.
And we've got Chantal Wigan, I think, to make up the
yeah, exactly. And I mean, she's been,
I think that's our 7. Yes,
yeah, she also was dominating here. So, look, it's exciting, and I mean that's the way we want sport to be. It's nerve-wracking, but
I'm sure you thrive on that, though, Brett. I mean, one of the important things, isn't it, that at the moment the focus is the selection events themselves, and then time to regroup, because the focus must then be London Olympic Games. Very best of luck.
Thank you, Ricky. Thank you very much.